everybody, it's Aquila, and this is a Lefty Knitter podcast, episode 131. This is a podcast about knitting, crocheting, anything fibery, crafty related, and life. Because life right now, yeah. Today's September 1st, and so I live in Baltimore, Maryland. Schools have went back. Now, let me just say, it's been a gradual entry for kindergarten. And so that just ruins any working person's day, let's just say. It's been rough. It's been rough. And I have a cat. So, didn't mention husband, kids, cats, whatnot. Cats. I record through the week and then I post on Saturdays. And I am very late starting this week's episode because of school. I mean, honestly, school, anxiety, everything. It's just been a whirlwind of life. Whirlwind of life. So gradual entry. Today was the first full day. And yeah, we're getting that storm that came up through Alabama. I believe it was up Louisiana, Alabama, whatever that one is, we're getting that. We're getting all these weather warnings. So guess what? Full day of school didn't happen. Luckily, Hayes said she is really liking school. She really likes, so she's at 2 new places technically. So she really likes it. Thumbs up. We're good to go. We celebrated her first day and she got Elvis French toast. This diner near us. She gets this, she wanted to get it. She loves Elvis. She knows who Elvis is. And she wanted to get the French toast to try it. Well, I didn't realize how huge the portion was. It is seriously, I think I have a picture. It is seriously 4 pieces of the thick bread. Between that is peanut butter. And then you get bananas and chocolate syrup and like syrup. And I think you get granola on it. And I think the last time we said we didn't want the granola and this time we forgot. Oops. So, celebrating food with food. That's what we do. In the last episode, I talked about that baby blanket. We were on that working farm, which was so awesome. I haven't gotten a reply. And yes, it was amazing. And the episode before that, all the replies, I don't know if I want to reply to that one unless there's like real questions, because most people are entering for the lore yarn, which will be drawn at the end of this episode. I don't know why I whispered that, because you won't see this until I post on Saturday, which is when I'll draw, and no more entries would be allowed anyway. Just a big thank you again to Michelle, who donated that yarn. That was amazing, amazing donation. And I know lots of people are very excited to possibly win. Okay, back to, I was starting that baby blanket and I have now finished. I crocheted the Rainbow RippleBaby blanket. I used my tulip hooks. This is an H8 5mm. I love these hooks. I used some yarn from Red Heart, which was the gumdrop yarn in the cherry colorway. I used 2 full balls of this, and I used a portion of Caron Simply Soft in the color Blueberry. Sorry, Berry Blue. It's upside down, and I read it backwards. Berry Blue. Yeah, so this will be nice and easy and washable for the mom-to-be. It's done. I'm not blocking this because it's acrylic. But I think Hayes made a great choice with this color. It looks really good on the edge, doesn't it? Can't even like... So I did not make this very large, nor do I make many of the baby blankets I make really large, only because I think a manageable size is great for in the car seat. It's great for just little naps. It's great for tummy time on the floor. So this is very manageable. And when the baby outgrows this can be used for baby dolls in the crib with the baby. Like Hayes has a baby blanket that she uses that's now her baby's baby blanket. Do you get what I mean? So even though it's not really gonna cover like my 5-year-old anymore, I mean, a lap blanket, if she's sitting there reading, she could totally still use a blanket this size. So there you go. Should I hold it like that? Maybe that's a better screenshot. Can you tell when I'm trying to make screenshots? All right, so that is done. Done. I gotta take some pictures. I love it though. It's like, it's perfect. Easy blanket. Seriously, go to every time. I'm gonna try to do the Musselburgh hat. I can't remember the Crafty Pearl. Is that it? I'll put it here. And We Share Needles are doing a knit along for the Musselburgh hat. I've seen other podcasters do this, and I think Kay, the crazy sock lady, had done it, so it blew up real big. She's got a lot of followers. So this is a hat where you knit end to end, and it's like a big tube. So you increase, you cast on, you increase, you knit, decrease, and then you stick the tube inside itself, just like the hats you make on like the Addi machines. I mean, not exactly like it, but it's done in all different weights, and you just use whatever gets you gauge. I haven't read through the whole pattern, but I am using, remember this? Kameleon hand-dyed yarns. I'm using the colorway I got called Van Gogh, and it's 100 grams, and it's an 75-25, 437 yards. I'm very excited to use this. I didn't know what I was going to use it for, and then I was like, I'm going to join this knit along. I might not keep up with it as good as I usually, I don't do well with that, but I bought the pattern. I'm going to make it. I caked it up. Isn't it beautiful? I love that side. It's so pretty. Okay. So I'm going to use this in my Musselburgh hat. Now that I've talked about that, I made something on my machine, my Erlbacher gear heart, and I think I might try selling them, or at least listing them and seeing how it goes. I've actually never used a yarn koozie before. Now, Chevis loves them. She calls them yarn condoms, and I think there's like a bunch of names for them, but usually you see them made of fabric. I cranked one, and I saw, I believe on We Share Needles, they hand knit one, or they bought a hand knit one. I'm not quite sure. So I was like, I could make one on my machine, and I did that. I couldn't stop thinking about it. Now I'm gonna do a different edge because I don't like it. So it's a 1x1 rib on my 64 stitch cylinder, and I did it for however many rows. And then what I did is I took out the pearl needles, the ribbed needles, and left only, well, I transferred the stitch. You can see where it changes. I transferred the stitch of the pearl needle to the next door needle. So what was left was only the knitting needles, the ones in the cylinder, and then I cranked a few rows for that, and then I just left a long tail and strung it through all the stitches and pulled it tight. So you can see that. I think most of them are open-ended on both sides, which I could do that too, but I wanted to have it as an act, like, technically you can put this on a beer or a cup, or not a mug, but like a cup, as like a cozy, like a beer cozy. So I just wound that yarn. I want to show you guys what it looks like, because I had a smaller ball cake of yarn, but I haven't put it on a full-size skein yet. So let's see what that looks like. Because honestly, I need a full-size skein anyway to see how many more rows I'm gonna need to do, because I think I'm gonna need to do more rows to make this work. Ooh, or maybe it's not gonna work at all, because I'm getting a weird puckering where it's gathered at the end, kind of like a nipple. Oh, now I can stretch it out. Actually, this many rows isn't so bad. I would only have to do a couple more. And it's not really puckering. So I think I need to do a few more rows, and it will be good. It'll be good to go. Because you want it to kind of come up and lip around, in my opinion. Now, when the ball gets smaller, it is going to look a little different when it's on the yarn. Would anybody be interested? I'm thinking like $8. And then whatever the shipping is, like Etsy will calculate the shipping based off of the weight of this and the packaging size that I will use, and your address. So this is on a smaller ball, smaller cake. This one I've used probably about half of. It's about half left. I normally don't pull from the center. I normally pull from the outside, but I could become a center pull person. That could be me. How many of you pull from the center of your cakes, and how many pull from the outside? If you'll let me know down below. I am curious, because when I put the question on Instagram, there were quite a few people that said that they don't pull from the center of their ball cake. So I am curious of that. So if you could let me know, that is an interesting question. And then, you know, it kind of comes up and around because you've used some of your yarn. And, you know, yeah, I might just throw a few up and see how that goes. But if you were interested in that too, could you let me know? Because knowledge is power. Helps me figure out what to put in my shop, what to maybe not put in my shop. I mean, obviously I could just test and put stuff in my shop and then advertise it and not ask the question of my viewers. My brain is kind of dead. All right, I think I might just make a few of these and just do it anyway. But I am still curious because, yeah. All right. I need to figure out how to cast on this Musselburgh. I have never cast on from this. This calls for doing a center cast on or whatever, where you cast on a few stitches and then it grows outwards. I've attempted to do that and I have failed every time. That was before I really watched a lot of YouTube and video tutorials. So there's probably a lot more out there now, because that was way early on in my knitting career when I probably shouldn't have been trying to do that type of cast on anyway. Have you guys done that? I mean, have you done a Musselburgh? Now I'm curious about that too. Dang, too many questions. Too many questions. Hey everybody, it's Thursday, September 2nd. That's correct. I received some mail and John and I are trying to figure out how we're going to use these because they came a little late in me putting the pants together. I didn't think any more were coming. I don't even remember. I tried to remember everybody that said they were sending some, and I really, really apologize. Okay, these are from Denmark. And Talya has a podcast, and I watch her podcast. She makes some really fun stuff. She actually was one of my first winners ever. Way back ago. Here, I'll insert a screenshot. She has a podcast called Talya in Love. She had won the remnants of the yarn that I used to make my shift cowl. And because I knew it was enough to make a second one. So it's just pretty cool. So, sorry. I don't know what's going on. So she sent me a card. And now John and I are trying to figure out how we are going to use these. Maybe like a cargo pocket or something. We don't know. I was like, do you want me to make you like a headband? So we're trying to figure it out, but look how pretty they are. That one's green, all different greens. This one's really cool because it looks like it gradiates. And then this one also looks like it kind of gradiates. Well, it alternates. So pretty. I really love like some of the solid squares. I'm still overwhelmed by everybody's kindness and sending these. So yay, thank you. So I'd put the picture, make sure you go check her out. It is in English and I understand her with no problem. So she has an accent, but you know, and she just makes some of the coolest stuff. She made these socks. She's been making lots and lots. She does a lot of socks. She does a lot of everything. I'm not gonna lie. Every time I tune in, I feel like she's already like finished something and made like 3 new things, like, and cast on 3 new things. She gets a lot of good knitting time in. I gotta, or she's a really fast knitter. I'm not quite sure. All right, so couldn't sleep. That's how things work, right? And I was like, oh, I'm gonna make something on my machine. And I did it today. You know, just this little thing here. Little scrunchie. So on my Erlbacher, I cast on and I made just a tube, about 50 rounds. And then as I was doing the hung hem, I put the elastic in. Here, I'll take it down. It's not the prettiest though. So, and it doesn't really scrunch up like a scrunchie or a more fun hair tie. So the elastic is inside there. This is where I did the hung hem, and then I just did a back stitch bind off. So the elastic is in there. So I guess if I put the elastic, maybe if I put the elastic on that side, it kind of looks more like a scrunchie. Or not. It kind of just looks like you're wearing a cuff. So it's not the prettiest. I guess I could have pulled in the bind off tighter, but then I was afraid it needs to have that stretch, you know? So I was afraid to do it too tight. So it's not ugly, and in your hair, it actually looks really cute. It just doesn't look as cute as like a scrunchie on your arm because it just kind of looks like you're wearing a cuff. Although that could be a look. Oh, this old thing? Oh, it's a hair tie. Just saying. I don't know. I'm experimenting. Let me just put it back in. I can't really see. Oh, it looks fine. Looks fine. Okay. I told you I was going to join the Musselburgh knit along. And I think the hashtag is show us your muscles, Cowl. Like MUSSELSKAL. I'll put it up here. So I figured out how to do that circular cast on. So you start from the center and you knit out. Every time I've tried to do that, fail. I did it. It's in my Beetlejuice bag. We introduced Hayes to Beetlejuice. This is Stitching Plaza, Georgianne. She has Jack and Sally ones right now, or did. I don't know what she has left. So we introduced Hayes to Beetlejuice while camping. And in the last week, I think she's watched it 6 times. So her favorite part is when the ghosts make them dance at the table. That's her favorite part. She thinks that's the best part. So let me just show you. There's my yarn. And I did it, y'all. I did it. I'm going to put a stitch marker on so I can show you guys my progress. I am using, gives you instructions to do like magic loop, 4 needles, 4 DPNs, or 2 like 16-inch. So there's different instructions. It's all the same thing, but y'all, I'm doing it. It's crazy. I'm not very far, but I'm doing it. I'm very excited. So let's find a stitch marker. I have this handy dandy thing with all my light bulb stitch markers, and then I put all my extras in there too, of bigger ones, because I don't really have a place. So let's see what works. We're gonna put on, do I have anything that kind of matches? That kitty cat's cute. Let's put the kitty cat on it. Look at that kitty cat. Somebody gifted this to me. Putting the kitty cat on. All right, that way you guys can kind of see my progress. I still haven't shown you that sweater I cast on with the yarn that I ripped out. I'll do that. I gotta do that soon. So there we go. Kitty cat's on there. Boop. All right, y'all, that's it. That's all I gotta show you. But scrunchies. I think I might try another prototype or two. Oh, I didn't say what yarn this was. This is Mesa Skeins in one of her spring colorways. Yes, Lily of the Valley. That's what it was. I made so many things. I made a pair of socks. I made 2 pairs of socks. I made a regular size and a shorty pair. They were roll top, so the one sock was not a full skein. Then I used it in one of the squares. And I'm pretty sure I used it in something else. And now I have a scrunchie. And now I've exhausted it. That's insane. I love using my scraps, and I think this would be really great for scraps. I should have weighed it before I couldn't weigh it before I put in the hair tie. But you know what I could do? I could weigh it and then weigh a hair tie and then subtract the weight. And I would know how much approximately yarn I used. Maybe I'll do that. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm just curious of how many grams it used, because I only did 50 rows. And I can get almost 500 rows out of a skein. So that's like 10 grams? Would that be right? Trying to do math in my head, and I'm just feeling a little foolish right now. It's close to that. All right, until the next clip. See you guys. Okay, everybody, it is Friday, September 3rd. I'm not quite sure what tomorrow's video is gonna look like, because it's gonna be a crazy day. So it might be the shortest little video announcing the winner. Just saying. I apologize in advance. Okay, I had to, of course, try another scrunchie, because why wouldn't I? And I did, and it's fine. It still looks like just a cuff for like a sleeve. But I wanted to try a different bind-off method. So the bind-off method I used on the other scrunchie, I put waste yarn on the end, I cranked it off, and then I had a long tail that I used with a darning needle or whatever, a needle, and I picked up all the live stitches in a certain way to be stretchy. Worked fine. I still didn't like how it looked, and I think it was due to how I finished the last couple rows on my machine anyway, but that's not here nor there. I wanted to try a different bind-off method, which this bind-off method, your live stitches are the last stitches on your machine. You cut a very long tail, and then you put that on a needle, and you go through all the loops while it's on your machine. That took me forever. Forever. Straight up. Not doing that again unless I need to for something. And accessing certain parts of the machine, and then I feel like I'm doing this, and I'm doing this, and I'm like this, and not good for my neck and my back and all the things. There's that, what? My neck, my back. Yeah, I'm not there. And it didn't produce anything better looking. So here is where it's folded up, and you had 2 rows of, you had 1 row, 2 live stitches on each needle, and then you went through the loops with your tail. because you hang the hem and that gives you the 2 loops on each needle. It doesn't look it just looks like this weirdo cuff. And I'm not quite sure. I mean, it kind of looks cute like that because it's not just straight like this. Like, but then you have to like make it look like that, and it doesn't look like that on your wrist. I mean, maybe you could make it look better, but it's gonna look like this, or it's gonna look like this. So it doesn't really look like a scrunchie. I don't know. I was experimenting. I could probably do other things that I haven't thought of yet. But right now, this is it. This is it. It works. Hazel wants it. She's like, can I take it to school today? And I was like, no, I need to show it. And then it'll be hers. I'm quite worried about this Musselburgh hat. Let me show you. I am worried because it doesn't look like it's going to be big enough. Sorry. My windows are open today. It's nice. It's a little warm, but you know what? It's better than running the air conditioner. That's how I feel. What is beeping? Just heard another beep. Not sure what that is. Okay. Oh, it's a truck. Now I know. Okay. Jeez. Super loud, y'all. Sorry, you can probably hear that. I'm at the point, I have like one more increase round. So I was here when I showed you my little baby top part. And I've done that many rows. And it's only that big. I'm gonna move it to a different needle and it's gonna look bigger. But as it stands with one more increase row, I don't like it looks like it's gonna be big enough. So what does one do? What does one do? One pulls out another hat that they knit with fingering weight yarn. How am I even gonna try to do this? Okay, so this is how wide it is, and so this one's knit this way though. So let's find a place where I started decreasing around there-ish. You can see right around there. So let's fold this bad boy kind of like this. That kind of gives us an idea. And I'm going to put it on top of this one. Oh, well, maybe it's gonna, okay, you need to trust the pattern, right? This hat's been made like how many times? Like 2,000 sometimes, I think, at least on Ravelry that's made a project page. I think it's close to 3,000. I need to trust the pattern. And look, I really should trust it. I just need to trust it, don't I? I think it's gonna be fine. But now I'm just realizing this because I didn't do this before the video. I had just pulled this out and I was like, I'm gonna hold it up next to it on camera, and it's making a big fat liar out of me. I didn't think it was gonna be big enough. I was knitting this watching the Bob Ross documentary, and now I will not buy anything that's Bob Ross if it's, I feel bad. If you haven't watched the documentary, I don't need the proceeds going to these people who wanted to be big jerk faces. Not that I think I've actually bought anything that was Bob Ross, like Bob Ross Inc. Like, seriously, y'all? Just watch the documentary. That was wrong. People are rude and wrong and whatnot. He seemed like a really nice guy. Look at that. It's on track. I think it's on track. Trust the pattern. Although I was very confused at first by the pattern. I'm not going to give it away because it's a paid for thing. I was very confused. But it's pretty. It's knitting up really pretty. I think it's going to be a pretty fall colory type hat. there you go. All right, tomorrow will probably be short. Good luck to all the people who entered, and we'll see who that is tomorrow. Okay guys, it is the 4th. It is 8:30 in the morning, Saturday, and I need to pick a winner, and then I need to get other things done. So, short clip. Hopefully, I am going to the YouTube comment picker right now. Sorry you guys are watching this part, but yeah, this is what happens. I may have locked myself out of my Google account, not quite sure. I hit the space to put in my password, and then it said to confirm my account, and then it was like saying to reset my password, and I'm like, oh, this is not what I want to do. So I just backed out of all of that because I didn't click on reset my account from this, although it thinks I did. So I don't know if the screen had moved. This tablet is a little jerky sometimes. So yeah, let's paste the URL in. Paste. There we go. And then filter duplicates. And I want to, based on specific text, and that is L-O-R-E, lore. All right. And I think there was like 64 comments, so it should be close to that, because I'm assuming everybody that commented probably, 43. That's interesting. I thought it was going to be more than that. So maybe there was more comments, more like duplicates or something. So I wonder, I want to try something because, oops, sorry you guys are totally seeing this. How's everybody's week been? It's been emotional, lots of things happening, just leaving it there. Let's just say that. Okay, so it doesn't matter if it's up or lowercase. I was curious if that made a difference, and it didn't. So there were 43 comments, and we're gonna hit start. And it's rolling through. You can kind of see that. All right, here we go. 4 wins PPG. And the comment was that lore yarn is fabulous. If I could read, that would be great. I have had a cabled cardigan in my Rav queue for quite a while, and it would be amazing to do it in that color. So congratulations, 4 wins PPG. Make sure you comment, get a hold of me. I will, all my links are down below. The best way to get a hold of me is actually through Ravelry, because it's easy to keep track of the email that comes in. So if you message me on Ravelry, that would be amazing, and let me know your physical address so I can get this mailed out to you. I'm very excited, and I hope that when you do start making this, that you will tag me in it, because I would like to see this cabled cardigan. I am not very fond of cables. I won't not do them, but I've just not done a lot of projects with a lot of cables. I've only done minimal cabling. So, all right, well, I'm gonna get off of here, and I hope everybody's well. Take care of yourselves and knit happy. Yeah, that's it, guys.